In the final bloody year of World War I, while nations bled and armies fell, one of the greatest acts of heroism came not from a general or a soldier, but from a bird. A homing pigeon, named Cher Ami, French for dear friend. His mission would defy bullets, gravity, and death itself, to save men who were otherwise forgotten. World War I was not only fought by men. Over 16 million animals served during the war: horses, dogs, mules, and pigeons. More than 100,000 homing pigeons were used by Allied forces to carry critical messages across dangerous battlefields, where wires were cut and radios failed. They had one job: fly home. No matter the danger. Cher Ami was one of them. But his legacy would outlive them all. It was the Meuse-Argonne offensive, one of the bloodiest battles in U.S. military history. Over 26,000 Americans would die in this campaign alone. Deep in the Argonne forest, more than 550 men from the U.S. 77th Infantry Division, later known as the Lost Battalion, advanced too far. They were trapped behind enemy lines, surrounded by Germans. Days passed. Ammunition ran low. Wounded lay untreated. Rations were gone. Rain poured and enemy fire rained harder. Worse yet, their own artillery began shelling them, unaware of their true location. They tried to send runners. Every one of them shot down. They released 2 pigeons with desperate messages. Both were killed midair. Only one pigeon remained. Cher Ami was their last hope. Tied to his leg was a message: "We are along the road parallel to 276.4. Our artillery is dropping a barrage directly on us. For heaven's sake, stop it." As he rose into the sky, gunfire cracked through the trees. He was hit within seconds. His chest torn open. One leg shattered, the one with the message. A bullet had blinded him in one eye. But Cher Ami did not fall. He kept flying. For 25 miles, through wind, fire, and pain, he pushed forward. He reached the U.S. base. Collapsed. Bleeding. Barely alive. But the message was delivered. And the shelling stopped. 197 lives were saved. Army medics rushed to save him. They couldn't save his leg. It was hanging by a single tendon. But they made him a tiny wooden prosthetic. Cher Ami became a legend. The French government awarded him the Croix de Guerre with a palm for extraordinary bravery. General John Pershing, commander of the American Expeditionary Forces, personally honored the little bird. He died a year later from his wounds. But his body was preserved and placed in the Smithsonian Institution. Even in death, his story lived on. Years later, surviving members of the Lost Battalion recalled the moment Cher Ami took flight. One soldier wrote, "We watched him rise like it was our soul flying with him. Each second we expected him to fall. But he didn't. And when the shelling stopped, grown men cried." Families of those 197 soldiers passed down the name Cher Ami for generations. He wasn't just a pigeon. He was a savior. For decades, many believed Cher Ami was a female due to the French name. But in 2021, Smithsonian scientists used DNA testing to confirm Cher Ami was male. A final chapter in a century-old mystery. In a war that consumed millions. In forests where names and bodies were lost. One fragile life defied fate. Cher Ami flew not for glory, not for medals, but because he was trained to go home. And going home meant saving others. He didn't know he was a hero. But the world would never forget. Some heroes carry guns. Some carry hope. On wings. Cher Ami, the pigeon who saved the Lost Battalion. Subscribe for more stories of forgotten heroes of war. History isn't just in books. It lives in courage.